All right, so from time to time, this is just a review. From time to time, I be thinking like, yo, I don't know what to study before I play. I forgot what I was doing. My mind is cloggy, my mind is foggy, or whatever. First thing that you want to do before you step in any casino is you want to make sure that you're not tired. So if you ate, you don't want to go play because you get sluggish. You want to, if you can, you want to play when you just woke up, you fully awake. You're not good if you haven't eaten yet because you get lackadaisical. You'll just be trying to bet just to get a win and go. All right. Now that you understand that, when you step into the table, you're looking for a table where it's dominating shoes. Now I just won 706 because the shoe was dominating the hell at Rivers. You look for a dominating shoe, right? Dominating shoe. So now, your first bet, before you make your first bet on the weak side, your first bet is the second bet on the weak side. You want to look to see, to make sure it's not no patterns. That's the patterns what Lou showed you, right? You want to make sure it's no patterns, right? Now, if you bet the second bet and you lose, you cannot do it again on your own accord. You have to wait for it to come down because you might run into the mousy session. Okay, you're doing your scorecard because you don't want to spread yourself too thin and get fucked up. So what are you doing is you using your scorecard to tell you what's hot so you know who to go with on the dominating side. So you know who to go with on the dominating side, right? You only play the dominating side if you have a hot person. Never do you want to play by yourself. Even if you got the desire to, don't. Because when you play with other people, it allows you to let them push the shoe. Because if you lose playing by yourself, you don't want to go up and down. You're going to take some chances that you don't have to, and you might lose. 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose. But if you got somebody you playing with, you let them push the shoe, and you feel the need to jump on and jump off when you feel need, jump in and jump off when you feel the need to do it, and you can benefit from it. Okay. Now, you play. If you win on the dominating, if you win on the weak side, you do not stop betting it until you lose. Right? You bet small, right? Not trying to bust the people's head. Now, if you are able to get a win on the dominating side, now, we usually, like the time we was in Caesars, we usually get a win because we bet with them on the dominating side, and then we close it up on the weak side. That's how we get the big win. But the key to getting a lot of wins, is basically playing to maintain. And this comes from when you was doing a review and you went into your Google Maps, your Google Photos, and you was like, you won 400, 470, 555, 700, 900. You're like, well, what the fuck was I doing? You was doing the Tony mindset, and you was playing to maintain. And playing to maintain is this. Like, once you take some shots, if you get a win, you don't say, okay, I'm going to protect it with a run or anything else. So basically, if you get a win, how you convert it to this? If you get a win on the strong side, you take the strong side and go. You don't say, okay, I got a win on the strong side. Let me protect it by letting it get a win let me get a win on the weak side because it's not guaranteed. This is how you get it consistently wins. You play 2 sessions a day, and that's what you and you get a win, right? God forbid if you lose, right? God forbid if you lose, right? The best thing to do is take the L and walk off and give it a break. You don't want the casino to take advantage of your emotional, and when you start just dripping money in, and then you wind up giving back all the money that you don't want. Okay? So at the end of the day, right, if what you're doing is not working, then now you have to follow the people. If what you're doing is not working, and you come in and you bet that second spot on the weak side, if what you're doing is not working, you convert over to betting with the people. And you bet with the people and you get a win, and you get the fuck on, you play to maintain, and you get out of there. Don't be trying to bet all crazy. Don't be trying to think you gonna bomb out. No. Now, if it's you always want to play the dominating shoe, you want to come in with 35, 40, 45 hands, dominating shoe. The way you get your wins is you looking to play the weak side, right? But you do not want to spread yourself too thin, because if you are on the weak side and the drop comes, you want to have enough bankroll to sustain it, to come back. This is what we're doing. This is called the number 2 hustle, dominating shoes. Now, I'm going to say this. When you first said, you like, yo, and you wrote it down, it was like player, the dominating shoes, and it was going down, and we kept going down, and then you didn't understand it, but you took and you lost that 4,400, and it was a dominating shoe because you was trying to capitalize on the one. That shoe did not justify that. If you'd have waited to the second or third spot on the weak side, then the one was coming. So it took you a lesson, but you learned a lesson. You learned the lesson. Okay, you learned the lesson. But this is how what we're doing now. So important. Before you take a bet on the weak side, second bet, like you don't, look to see if it's any patterns. Look to see if it's any patterns. Look to see if you want dominating shoes. The majority of your wins come from dominating shoes, and you played 40 to 45 hands into the shoe because it gave you an idea to see what was going on. Some people don't even pay attention to the percentages because they don't understand it. They don't pay attention to that. They read that Macau. That's bullshit. You pay attention to the percentages. What is dominant and what's not. You play the weak side is what we do. But if you able to play the dominant side because you got a person that's hot, this is why it's reason to do your scorecard, because what you doing might not work. So you have to convert over to bet with them. That's why you use your scorecard. And the best thing you do, you don't go in, you don't make a bet and go right back. You don't win a bet and go right back. You don't lose a bet and go right back in. It's best to just let it, be patient, and let it do what it do. But you don't want to spread yourself too thin, be betting here, be betting there, be betting this. No, you want to take your time. Take your time. This is almost a 10-minute review. Say this again. A lot of your shoes, you have won dominating shoes, right? If you are playing shoes that's close, you might just want to bet the double. The double bet. You got to be careful. I prefer you not to play and just concentrate on that one type of shoe dominating. If you go down there, if you don't see those shoes that's dominating, you might just want to step off and leave it for another day. At least you don't fuck yourself. But if you try the two on the weak side of it don't come, you cannot chase it by keep chasing it. You have to let it come down on its own. And then you can decide if you're going to play the 1 or if you're going to play the 3. When it comes down on its own, you have to decide if you're going to play the 1, if you're going to play the 3. Review.